All right, we are live and on air. Welcome to our weekly marketing chat. This week, as we've done the past few weeks, will be dedicated to live landing page reviews. So what that means is that myself and my partner in crime for these webinars, Izzy Palmerin, will be reviewing your landing page submissions. So if you don't know, we work I'm the co-founder of KickoffLabs. KickoffLabs is the quick and easy solution for enabling a viral marketing campaign. So what that means is that we scream the top of the funnel. So we help you get new customers in through the top of your marketing funnel through landing page campaigns, forms that go on your website. Most of our customers, about half of our customers, are launching a new product or a business, and they're collecting leads for that purpose. The other half of our customers are people that are running one of two types of campaigns. One is they're regularly running contests to keep their audience engaged and growing their audience with our platform, or they're running simple lead magnet campaigns. So a pop-up box that comes up on your website that says, hey, download our ebook, enter your email address. People that might not be ready to click purchase or buy today, use our software to collect email addresses to grow their list that will eventually end up purchasing from them. And we help you manage and create those types of campaigns for your product. So if you're not doing any sort of lead collection, offering a magnet, offering an incentive, offering an email course on your website, we should chat, because our product can make doing that extremely easy and grow the amount of leads you're collecting very quickly. So we did have a number of pages that were submitted this week, and a number of pages that we can get to from past weeks, as well as if you're in the chat, and it's not a very large chat this week. So it's I see Mike, I see Gokben, I see a couple other people in the chat. Sign into the chat, introduce yourself. We can make this week a lot more interactive with the number of people we've got on the chat. So I'm sure that we'll get to everybody's page. We do these live because we like that interactivity. Otherwise, we could do a formal landing review offline and we could publish them, but it just wouldn't be nearly as much fun. So that said, I'm going to look at Gokben's page, Lasuk /early access. And so let's pull up that page first. And Mike, we'll get to your page as well, but I'm going to start on the Lasuk page. Let me share my screen so that you guys can all see what I'm seeing, and we can chat about this page. So share screen. All right, you guys should all be seeing what I'm seeing. And so a couple of things right off the bat. So I would go ahead and kill this coming soon right at the top. Coming soon screams, especially when you lead with it, as not ready for me. I'm just gonna walk away and leave. So I would absolutely kill that right off the top. It would move up everything a half an inch, and you'll get to your statement a little bit faster. So now I see, you've got your brand here. And then the next thing I see is kind of reading down the page, because the page kind of wants you to lead down. Modern, unique, inspiring, chic. I still don't know what you really do. Modern, unique, inspiring, chic. I could say that about a web application. I could say that about clothing. I could say that about jewelry. I could say that about my line of robots that I'm building. These are nice brand catchphrases, but they're that catch-all that doesn't exactly tell people what you want. You might say, we are jewelry for people, modern, unique, inspiring, and chic jewelry. Just one word added to that. If you added the word jewelry to the end here, would help people, help explain what you do, so they don't have to read this small text. Because you want to assume that at least half the people that come to your landing pages are going to read the big text. They're going to read your logo, going to read this, they're going to read this text right in here. And most people are going to skip over this. So if this text is required to understand what you do and why you should sign up, then you failed at the headlines. And so I would honestly add the description that says what you do. So now let's read the subtext a little bit. just a few of the ways to describe one-of-a-kind pieces you'll find at Le Soc, a meticulously curated online boutique launching this summer. I still don't know what you say. You say one-of-a-kind pieces, but pieces of what? Is this watches? Is it jewelry? Is it clothing? I don't know. So let's go to the next sentence. We've tirelessly scoured the globe to find the perfect jewelry, scarves, and handbags, and homewares. There we go. Jewelry, scarves, handbag, and homewares from independent designers. These are things you should play up. I could go to Amazon and buy jewelry, scarves, handbags. You're doing it. Unique designs from independent designers. So, unique and inspiring jewelry, scarves, handbags from independent designers. These are words that should be screaming in the tagline on the page to get people to understand here what it is you're doing. They shouldn't be buried in this subtext here that half the people aren't going to read on the landing page. Now, the next thing that you'll notice is the sign up box doesn't stand out. It's got this circle, this square around it. The color of the call to action doesn't stand out. If I walked back 10 feet from the page and looked at my computer, I wouldn't know what it was. And maybe we can try this today. Let me try a little something. Zoom. This is as far as it'll let me zoom out of the page. But if I zoom out of the page, it should still scream exactly what it is and where I should go to sign up, and it doesn't. This headline is about the same size as this. It just says sign up. There's no why. Now you get into this statement. It says, be the first to know when we launch. So, and get rewards. Sign up and get rewards. Get early access and rewards. Put that in the headline, not just the subtext here. So now I've got this, be the first to know when we launch. I say this over and over again. That is both a bad incentive and terrible marketing if that's really what you were going to do. Because let's say they sign up and you go 6 months and then you launch. What happens 6 months later when I get the email? I've completely forgotten who you are and what you did. I would focus on sign up for early access discounts and rewards. Honestly, you have to bribe people and focus on that bribery about what you're going to get them. And so this reward statement shouldn't be the last thing, and the early access shouldn't be the last thing mentioned before you have sign up. That should also carry through to the call to action. So get rewards or something here should be the call to action buttons. I'll sign up in a second, but let's go through the rest of it. To reinforce what you're doing in headline form, assuming that people read the headlines, get a sneak peek at what it is. So the images shouldn't just be standalone. These images are kind of standalone without a description. So it should be get a sneak peek at our cookware, handbags, et cetera, and then these images should have headlines that match to what it is. It's not just who it is, like Lisa Jones Portland. Imagine that somebody couldn't see the images on the page. How do they know what the image says? The images and the text need to be complementary. They can't each be standalone. And you've got standalone text up here without images and standalone images without text in these locations on the page. So I would think about how you can make the images and text that goes with the page here. And so now let's go ahead and sign up. All right, so I've signed up, and you've got me to a nice looking, clean looking thank you page. And it says, thanks for signing up. Invite friends and get early access and rewards. And that's kind of our standard text. I would maybe play with it for the brand. Like, you've got some great rewards here. You're calling out invite to a 48-hour pre-launch event, 10% off, a VIP, become a VIP. As a VIP member, you get special gifts. These are things that should be called out more specifically. So invite friends, become a VIP, and get discounts. Like, call out what you're doing in the headlines so that then people don't have to read necessarily below, and the headline is less generic. The more specific you can be in the headline about what you're giving away, especially when you've got great rewards like you're doing, you've got some good rewards. Those rewards should be pulled through and teased on the first page, on the sign up page, and then also on the headlines on this page that you've got here. So I would really consider you know, putting these headline this a little bit called at, you know, a little bit larger at the top, and you know, mention them in this headline a little bit up here, and you can make the headline a little larger. The how it works, share the link, and we'll track how many friends sign up, friends join, rewards. This is all really clear. This is one of our templates. Anybody can set up a page like this. I just think the only change I would make to this page is really focusing on pulling through what those great rewards are into the headline in here. And now let's check out, since we have some time this week, we'll go a little bit more detailed. If I share on Twitter, what does it actually say? If I go to share on Twitter, get early access. So again, this get early access isn't the greatest headline. Earn rewards at would be a better headline here. Shop from one-of-a-kind independent designers. Boy, that's a great headline. Why are you wasting it in the tweet? Like, that should actually be, you know, on the homepage or something. Like, shop from the freshest one-of-a-kinds. And this is what I find as people get deeper into the system generally, and people get further along into copywriting, it gets better. And so I almost feel like people should start over at the top and say once they've gotten all the way through, they should look at all the copy they've written and see, like, wow, what are some things that I've written later on in the process that I could use for the headline? And so again, I might consider taking this and using it as a headline on the first page. I think it's a great tweet.
Real quick, Josh.
Yeah.
We're not seeing the actual tweets on your screen. For some reason, we're not seeing that actual window.
It's not showing the monitor. But trust me, it says that what it says is shop the freshest one-of-a-kind finds from independent designers. And you know, that text.
That is an awesome headline. Yeah,
that headline should be. Thanks for calling that out. That headline should be on the homepage, on the first page that we saw. If you imagine, you know, taking this and I go back to the homepage, you know, this. If I actually change it, and just bear with me while I just change this headline for a second. Even that is going to look a lot nicer. Something going on when I did that, but shop the freshest one-of-a-kind finds from independent designers. I think that would be a better headline than what you have with the unique, modern, chic, inspired thing. And so that's what I meant about circling back from the copy you wrote at the end to what would work better at the start to explain your business and to explain what you're doing. And so let's see. Any comments or questions on the feedback? Let's see.
Go ahead and check out the chat. For some reason, they say that the version that they published is different than the one that we're seeing.
Okay, I don't know if they're running an A/B test or something that may be doing that. But that is interesting. I can also see from looking at the chat that the title of the page is perhaps even a better headline too. So the title of the page has designer jewelry, handbags, scarves, and homewares. Does a great job of explaining what you do, and I think that's kind of what's missing from this homepage is there's not a clear explanation of what you do and what your unique benefit is on the homepage. It's there. So that said, let's actually go and look at the next page. And so I know Mike is here from Comfortable Boxers, and I'm curious to see what he's done. So Izzy, do you want to start and share your screen and go at the Comfortable Boxers campaign?
Great, yeah, sure, I'd love to. Mike, nice to have you here in the chat with us. A big hello. We've actually done a webinar with Mike in the past, and how when he launched his initial Comfortable Boxers website. Right now, he's actually working on the Kickstarter campaign. Mike had incredible success, and we have a great blog post. I'll go ahead and post that link in just a bit. But let's go ahead and get to reviewing Mike's new page. It's actually living at the same domain which it was before, which I actually like, because since people had already seen that that subdomain, they're kind of familiar with it, and they can go ahead and just revisit if they want to support the actual Kickstarter campaign or get information of their upcoming Kickstarter campaign. So looking at the page overall, it's well designed. Mike is actually really good at designing for conversion. So looking at the page, it's an extremely attractive page. But let's go ahead and jump to the top. The Comfortable Boxers Co. is coming to Kickstarter. Cool. So it's clear, the headline is extremely clear. For my taste, it's just a little bit small. You know, this is an actual image. So what I would do, I would actually convert this to actual text. So it's just not like an image here. So it'll scale a little better on mobile devices and on desktops. Let me see if this sign up for discounted. Yeah, so this whole area is just an entire image. Obviously, you would need to use an image for the Kickstarter logo, for your logo as well, for the Comfortable Boxers Co. logo. But for example, for this panel box, I mean, this can easily be created, and it'll work out better if it's as text. It'll scale better. Google can read it better. It's just better than having images on your page. And sign up for discounted early bird access for a chance to win a whole month supply of Boxer briefs. Okay, cool. So I like the incentive. I mean, the incentive is clear. Something that kind of throws me off is this little like percentage tag here, because there's no mention of any percentage off. There's just like, you know, it's the chance to win an entire month of briefs. So this percentage little tag here somewhat throws me off. And the call to action, I mean, I like notify me, but I would probably change it just to something that's actually related to supporting your actual Kickstarter campaign, or getting the actual month of Boxers. You know, enter to win now, or support the Kickstarter, or you know, notify me could work well. I know Mike is really smart, so he'll probably be A/B testing it. The call to action, the headline, which are the most important elements to be A/B testing. I mean, he's probably not going to be testing small little elements like the text color on the headlines and stuff like that. So let's look at the
even something simple like get access now or get early access, like the get access part, because you call that out in the headline, I think could be better than notify me, because it's tied to your incentive.
You're right, Josh. And I'm loving that he's reusing his headlines as well. I think if you visit comfortableboxers.com, I'm pretty sure that he's still using this headline. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mike. But premium is no longer expensive. So it's creating a kind of continuity between his landing pages, his e-commerce site, his launch site also had this headline as well. Well, this tagline, I would call it, as well. So it seems to be working very well for him. So he's reusing the actual headline as a tagline. So that's great. I'm thinking that the page looks just a little bit wide for my tastes. There's just a whole bunch of text here, and it's a little bit wide, especially on my screen. It's a 1600 by 900 screen, which is kind of, you know, it's a 19-inch monitor. It's kind of normal, but it's pretty wide to read. I mean, generally, whenever text is just a little bit more compressed here towards the center, or towards the left, or towards the right, it's a little bit easier to read. So it's just a small suggestion, but I think it can help with the overall readability of this first section, especially since it's the section that you're leading off with.
Yeah, I had the same comment on that first section, is that we can help squeeze it if you want to make it narrower. A larger font there would also work. So if it's going to be that full width, then a larger font where it's not so many words going all the way stretching across the screen might work better. And then my other feedback on that section was, again, with the images in the top, or as he was mentioning, they're already kind of narrow and small, so they might work well on devices. The images in that section, I noticed if you squeeze the page, are going to be really tiny. And I might break them up into a couple different images so that they you have like 4 boxes or something of images, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you're going to use images with text, at least imagine if they scale down, not being one long image, being like that 1, 2, 3, 4 style of images. And if you want help with that, that's something we can help with.
I'm just quickly reading Mike's comments. As for the landing page, we're getting new models and images ready in 2 weeks. It's cool. So it'll be prettier then, and I'm sure that he will make the page pretty nice. That's Josh's headline back in December. Thanks, Josh. Yep. Early bird implies, okay. So yes, and yeah, he's just basically making comments on the page. So we'll continue with the actual review. I like how I think he's using our zigzag theme, if I'm not mistaken, and I like how this theme actually, you know, it includes sections, so you can add additional sections to your page. For example, you can add, you know, a text section and then an image, and it zigzags to an image and text. It looks great, really looks great, but I'm, you know, for some reason I'm thinking that a lot of people visiting this page are already familiar with comfortableboxers.com, and they're already familiar, you know, with the ridiculously comfortable men's boxer briefs. You know, I would actually try testing removing some of these sections. I'm not sure what kind of feedback Josh might have, but I would actually test A/B test removing these last 3 sections along with the testimonials, maybe with the testimonials, without the testimonials, but you know, just trying to optimize the page. Like I said, people visiting this page might already be familiar with your product. I'm not sure where you're going to be advertising this page. You know, if you're retargeting some of your customers, or if you're creating new Facebook ads to target completely new customers. So depending on the needs of your actual campaign, how it's going to be running, I would A/B test removing some of these sections. And
I would also, I mean, if you're going to run a different test, you want to keep the sections. The other thing to recommend is, I know people love this zigzag thing, and I haven't run the test, so I'd love to see the results of the test. There's an option in the theme to make it so it's straight, so it's linear, so the text is always on the left-hand side. And if you think about what's most important for conversions, is can people read the page? And zigzagging forces your eyes to go from here to here to here. Now, I know it's popular, it's what people want. That's why we shipped the theme that way with the default. It's also, though, why we shipped the option to not have it zigzag and have all the text on one side and all the images on the other, so that the page flows and can be read easier when you've got more than 1 or 2 sections on the page. Now with 3, maybe it's not that important, but it's something worth seeing if there is a difference. If there is a difference there. And I'd also recommend, if you can get images for the people that have the testimonials, I would get the images for folks that have the testimonials there.
Totally. Actually, that was going to be my next comment. You know, these are just default images. They're not going to really convert well if you just have like a user icon here. People are not going to believe that they're actual real people. So placing real images of real customers with real faces convert very well. So that's super important to update. So Josh, do you want to make any final comments on the landing page? Because I'm going to go ahead and sign up.
No, I don't have any final comments on the landing page. I think you can go ahead and sign up.
Alrighty, let's see the experience that awaits us. We'll click notify me. Interesting. Josh wants to sign up. I can hear him clicking. So this is actually, I really like the way this is laid out. I mean, it's pretty clever, Mike. Pretty clever. I haven't seen our actual theme used in this way. What Mike is actually doing, he's actually stretching out the header image, where it's just about taking my entire full screen, which is kind of nice. But I'm not sure how this is going to work on smaller devices. Hopefully this won't mess up the screen share. But
Mike is really playing on the fact that there's a lot of studies out there that show, if you have a compelling reason for people to do so, that they will actually scroll. So there's a lot of people that spend a ton of time trying to get everything in the top section of the page. But what you find is that if the page is worth reading, and there's content for people that's worth sharing and worth reading, people will scroll down on the page. And there's some research saying, especially on mobile lately, that mobile is kind of teaching people to scroll, because so many sites are becoming responsive, and that scrolling is so important that people are have gotten used to scrolling on pages much more so than they used to. And I think Mike is betting kind of on that research to get people to scroll down, because it kind of does flow. Like when you read it, it says, "Thanks for signing up. You'll be the first to know. Now invite friends," big bold text, which is still above, going to be, close to above the fold on a mobile device. It's certainly above the fold on a desktop link here. And you're like, okay, how do I invite friends? Oh, these buttons, right? and you might click the buttons. I think the only thing that you kind of miss out on is like the tracking thing down at the bottom here. That if the tracking is what encourages the rewarding, people might miss out on that. And there's also no way to see, you know, down below, you know, click, paste, and share. Here's how it works. There's no text that follows. Here's how it works. Or something that, you know, like an arrow that might encourage people to check your status. Like, come back to this page and check your status whenever you want. Might be worth doing. And again, Mike did a really clean job on the policy, the rewards policy here, calling out what the prizes are, valid in US only. This is like a small thing that a lot of people forget. And he's basically giving himself lots of outs. And I don't want to spend too much time on the legalese copy, but I think Mike did a great job with things like 1 email per household, 1 IP address, referral emails will be checked for validity, fraudulent referrals, blah, 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 blah. Basically saying like, hey, you know, we are going to be checking for fraud before you get your rewards. And that's a question that's come up a lot lately in terms of what you can do for fraud prevention and if you're running a contest like this. And you want to at least make sure that you're making it clear to people you will be checking for fraud if they're looking at the small print when you're giving away as much as Mike is trying to give away here. And so the only thing I might change is some of the small copy, like, so it's you've got 0 friends have joined and earned you more entries into the contest, which is great. Keep checking. I might just say this page. 0, you're entered to win 3 entries. 10 more entries into the contest, 25 more entries, nice work, 50 more entries, nice work. Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how this works with the scaling. I think his first giveaway was much more along 10, you know, with X you got X, not just more entries. I'll be curious to see how this one works. I think it's going to work really well. We're seeing a lot of people do you get more entries with more referrals competition. And I'll be curious to see how that works. I think it'll work really well for Mike for what he's done, because the page is clean. It's easy to understand. It's not very complicated what you're getting. The only thing I might call out is this, you know, rewards policy. Because you've got 2 separate things you're entering, I might just say what the prizes are. This text could be bigger and bold under the rewards policy to say what the prizes are. And you're entered to win 30 pairs of ridiculously comfortable. I just feel like the rewards don't quite stand out as much for some reason. I could, like, what am I entering the contest to win? And I feel like that's something, I know it's in this print right here at the top, but this big print, like invite friends, earn entries, you know, maybe win 30 boxers, like a 3rd line or something where it calls out what the rewards are, because I feel like that's something people could miss if they weren't skimming, if they weren't reading all the small copy on the page. Like, why should they care to share what the rewards are? Either make this bottom section a little bit bigger, add a call out in the top, you know, highlight the 30 pairs of boxers, you know, 1 for every day of the month. I mean, something like that, so you never have to do laundry again. I don't know. It's just something to really focus people on what the prize and the reward is, because I think, you know, you've really done a great job explaining how the contest works and how you get more entries. And I just think like the one basic thing is like calling out what the incentive is. That'd be my feedback on the rewards page. Izzy, did you have anything else?
No, actually, I think you pretty much nailed it. I mean, it's a beautiful page. I was actually going to mention that this is another image here at the top. What's your opinion, Josh, on using like an entire image instead of text? I mean, I know it's easier because you can design it. It looks exactly the way you want it. But is it beneficial? Or, you know, are there any drawbacks to it?
Sorry, can you repeat the question, Izzy? Kind of broke up a little.
Sorry about that. If it's okay to use an image here in the header as opposed to static text.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. The reason I think it's okay in this case is because he's optimized his image for mobile, and so these images in the header aren't gonna scale down and be impossible to read on mobile, because he's already got them, you know, below 400 pixels wide to use these images and have a little bit more fun and playfulness in the header. Because something like these pages, especially the thank you page like this, it's not something that you're trying to search engine optimize and you're trying to make sure that the headlines have keywords in it that are going to be discovered by search engines. These are specific pages that have a purpose, and the purpose is to get people to invite friends. And if images are the way to do that, and you can still read the images and the text on mobile devices, then I think it can work. I think it can work really well. That'd be my feeling on it. You can obviously A/B test the images versus being more plain with the text that comes across.
Cool. Well, I think those were all my comments. If you'd like to move on to the next page, Josh, or I can open up the page.
Cool. I didn't see anybody else in the chat that submitted the page, so I'll let you pick which page we're going to next.
Oh no. Okay. Well, actually, can you jump into the next page because I don't have the page reviews link open.
All right, I'm going to switch.
Sorry about that. Thumper, there you go.
No problem. I'm going to go to thumper.co, who submitted the page. So the first thing is like very visual page and easy to read despite having a background image. A lot of times the background image, people don't fade out enough. They don't use a dark enough image in the background, and so it becomes hard to read. This page is super easy to read when you're here, despite the fact of having a background image on the main area. It says, and now let's look at the headline. Are you a radio personality or a jock just reading other people's jokes on the radio? Thumper is show, cross out prep, productivity. The only service to be live, local, and mobile like you. Okay, I'll say the first thing is really great about this headline. I'll talk about what I like first. Is are you a radio personality or a jock just reading other people's jokes on the radio? It immediately says who it's for. Radio personality, and you say radio again at the end. You're like, okay, this is for people who are on the radio, who might be doing show, who might be better served by doing preparation for their show. At least that's how I understood it. Like if I'm somebody who's regularly on the radio, I've got show notes I want to write up. Sort of we take some notes before we do these landing page reviews. Believe it or not, could I organize that in a way that makes a lot of sense? My kind of question here is almost a product question, which is, why not, target, are you a radio or podcast personality? Podcasting has just been exploding lately. The number of people that have shows that do regular appearances, they all need to do prep. I'm kind of wondering, like, why not? Why are you trying to? It sounds like you would exclude them. Like you're really trying, like you're a radio personality. And so I might think about, radio or podcast personality that need. And the other part is you've got this statement, like it's this question. Are you a radio personality or a jock just reading other people's jokes on the radio? And I think that's meant to be a little bit derogatory, like you're reading other people's jokes on the radio. I might say, are you a radio personality? And I think it might be clear to say, take your show to the next level with our show productivity or our show prep tool, because I don't really get, I'm not the target audience. And so I don't necessarily get that, this is going to incentivize people to want to sign up. And so thinking about the headline, I might be a little bit more, I would say, what focused in the headline. Are you a radio personality that wants to go to the next level? Because it sounds like that's what you're targeting. It's like saying, if you're just reading jokes on the radio, you're not going to the next level. I don't understand what the only service to be live, local, and mobile just like you means. I have no clue what that means. Like, I would focus again more on the what and the why of the service. Like the only service that does X, Y, and Z for people like you, not that is live, local, and mobile like you. I don't quite understand that. Maybe that it makes sense for the target audience. Something you can always do in a case like this. I mean, you're getting advice from us and maybe not the right audience, but is just email 5 people that could be potential customers and say, does this speak to you? How would you describe it? And just ask them for their honest feedback. You've got this headline that says, when you sign up, you'll earn free time on the platform. it's in gray. It's almost like you're trying to bury the incentive when that incentive should be called out either above it or in the same, you know, font, something big like sign up and earn free time on the platform. Like it should be a reason. Like, don't hide your incentive. You've got this great incentive. We're going to give you free usage of our product only if you sign up now. You know, limited time, for a limited time, when people who sign up will earn free usage of our product. It's a great incentive. This needs to be called out more on the page. Get an invite, get my free time. Nobody wants an invite. They want to try out the product. And so think about that on the call to action. Now let's look for a little bit more detailed information. What's missing from the list of things you didn't realize sucked about your current show prep? Okay, so this is, you know, your show prep currently. You can make this headline, like I said, a little bit more concise. Things that suck about show prep today. Just a little bit shorter, make it easy to read. And then, you know, you kind of go into the reasons. I'm not going to go into into this too much. I do like your comments here. I kind of wonder if once I sign up, you'll ask me. Again, you've got this, you know, sort of traditional zigzag. I'd love to try it non-zigzag because these images don't really explain. Unlike the comfortable boxers case, the images are a little bit more nonsensical compared to the text, whereas the text really has to do the bulk of the work. So focusing on readability of this page, like what is Thumper? What does Thumper do? Those are the most important things. Put this over to the left. Keep all the nonsensical images to the right. They're less important than the text here. They're not showing pictures of the product. It's not as important to force people to look at the images while they're scrolling down the page. So continuing to go down the page, you know, you've got the second call to get an invite. What does Thumper do? Why do I need Thumper? You're answering all the basic questions, which again, you know, if you hadn't answered them up here, you know, half the people will sign up right here. The other half the people will scroll down. So I think you did a good job answering the basic questions and just being very direct about what your copy is saying. And a lot of people fail at being direct in their copy. So let's see what happens when I sign up. Boom. All right, you've got a referral page. Simple, clean. I like it.
I love that page.
It's easily matched to your brand. The color at the top just says thanks. You've got this brand color here, invite friends and earn a free year. So this is what I was talking about earlier with the first page we looked at, where this headline actually calls out, you know, what your reward is. Invite friends and earn a free year on the platform. You've got a great reward. Don't be shy about it. Put it in the headline. Great job with that on this page. Use the links to share with your friends and earn freedom. I didn't get that play on words at first. I thought it was a spelling mistake, but I get what you're doing, so I would just keep it. And then you've got, you know, I might say like 0 friends. You know, something playful like the rest of the brand. Like no worries. We'll still access you to the beta. And then, you know, 3 friends. Very reasonable incentive levels. 3 is 3 months, 7 is 7 months free, 10 is a year free. So you're obviously scaling this up. I think a lot of people forget that, you know, most people are going to have between 0 and 3 people referred, and so to really focus on, you know, this lower levels, I think is great. If you find that all of a sudden you're getting a bunch of referrals, you can always add another level later with some super special reward for people that are later. So I thought this is a great way to start. And so, you know, and again, you use the left-hand side to do some more explaining about why the product is awesome, why you should share, I sort of just expected maybe like a teaser image or something on this page, like something that takes up a little bit more of the space over here on the side is what I was hoping to see. But, you know, to have this information is plenty, and focusing people on the left side of inviting friends, I think is probably what's most important. So, Izzy, did you have any feedback? I thought this was a really well put together campaign in general.
It actually is a very well put together campaign. I just wanted to quickly comment that they're actually A/B testing the actual page, which is pretty cool. I mean, there seems that they're testing the most important element in our opinion, which is their headline. So they're kind of playing around with the headline, with the tagline as well. So I think that could work well. And just a final comment, I think, there's a small spacing issue here. So where prep is crossed out, there's not enough space, just a small spacing issue. But overall, a nice page and very well executed.
All right, there's a question from a niche diver who says, really want to know your opinion on 0 images on a landing page when you're pre-product SaaS and just list building. I would always focus on the copy first and being simpler and focusing on the words and your positioning before I focused on the images. And so I think, yeah, and we see a lot of people that start out that way, which is literally, a box and or a page that tries to explain what they do in text, and then a thing, and you can always add those elements like an image or a video or things that help as you get more refined on the copy. The most important thing is to know that you've got the positioning and the copyright that gets people to sign up. Then once you've got that, then I would graduate into images that complement that copy, because if you try and find images, for example, that go with copy that doesn't convert, then you don't really know what doesn't convert. Is it the images or is it the copy if you're pre-product that was forcing a bad conversion rate? But if you strip everything down to its most essential, which is just the headline, the tagline, the reason you exist, the incentive, it's a much simpler place to start. And so I'm actually a fan of starting out for your first month or two without focusing or having images or a lot of copy, because it really focuses you down into the things that you can change that are the most important to figure out your conversion rate going there. I'm glad the Thumper guy was in the review, so I'm glad he heard it. It looks like he was there. And then Status Hero. So Hoppy Dar, HPO Dar is from Status Hero, and they are here. So I don't know, Izzy, do you want to start out and look at this page, or do you want me to start?
You could go ahead and start with the page. I mean, it's a nice looking page, but you're a great reviewer, Josh. Let's go ahead to Josh.
Right, I'll start on the page. All right, so Status Hero, lightweight status tracking for project teams. Lightweight status tracking for project teams. I don't know. What's good about the headline is your answer to what in those first 3 words: lightweight status tracking, and then for who it is. So you're for project teams, and so I can't really complain about the headline. It does its most basic job of explaining the what and for who, which a lot of people just miss out on. Obviously, you can try the variations: lightweight status tracking for small teams, or lightweight status tracking, because whatever your target audience is. Let me look at I'm going to cheat and kind of look at the pricing. Okay, so you've got $5 per month per user and enterprise. So at that price point, yeah, I mean you're really targeting smaller businesses or smaller project teams.
I would raise the price point right off the bat.
If your users, then that I don't know. I do feel like, yeah, I would consider raising the price point for the value you're adding. But then, if you are going to target the smaller market, then be explicit in your headline. It's not just for project teams. It's you're focusing on that smaller team market. All right, so let's see lightweight status tracking, and the next section. So let's see. Number 1, team receives daily emails or SMS prompts. Number 2, brief status updates are entered from any device. Number 3, automatically updates are broadcast to the team. So this is interesting. Like, you're talking about brief, status updates that are broadcast to the team. You can almost think about that in the headline, like lightweight status tracking for project teams that want to stay in sync. Like, because what your benefit here isn't just that you're tracking status, because there could be status tracking where, like, I'm just watching what people on my team do, and the information just flows back to me. But your unique benefit, at least to me, is you're saying, like, A, you can easily enter it from anywhere, but then B, the team is more connected because you're broadcasting them out to the entire team. And so that benefit could be in the headline. And the benefit didn't get teased out until I read all of the subheadlines and got to number 3. And so, yeah, I would absolutely consider adding some text up here. Lightweight status tracking for project teams that want everyone on the same page, that want everyone to know what's going on, that want uniformity, that want like togetherness, that want to like, I don't know, that want to work as a team. Just there's a lots of different words and phrases you can do to get this text across of the things that the things that you work on. It's interesting. I do like the subtle animations. I'm generally not a fan of animations and transitions on the page. I do kind of like this a little bit of subtle animations, especially this as it explains, like adds in text what's going on where the image swaps out and explains it. That's a nifty little thing. And so now let's kind of keep looking. Who's doing what without the meetings and interruptions? I might just say know who's doing what without the meetings and interruptions, or find out who's doing what without the meetings and interruptions. That's a great headline, and it could be like a great tagline underneath up here, but it's not a reason that I should sign up, why I should sign up for now. Like a reason to sign up now is kind of down here. Like start free for small teams, you know, pro features, $5 a month. That could even be below it. Like start tracking status for free is more of a reason to sign up, and it would tie together with this headline of track for free. So you understand what the call to action is and what the value is. You're saying track for free here. That should be represented in this headline right above the call to action. You know, start sharing status for small teams for free. So now let's look at the connects distributed teams, and you got these product shots here. Find a challenge to run regular stand-up meetings across different geographies and time zones. Again, here's a unique benefit that doesn't come out until later in the copy that could be represented somewhere up here at the top of the page, like different time zones. So now we're getting into more who your product is for. It's not just for small product teams, because you're kind of saying if my small project team is all located within, you know, shared desk space in an office, you maybe not for me. And maybe you're trying to avoid that. But I feel like if you're entering a crowded marketplace like status tracking and teamwork and collaboration, you really need to niche down and own that niche when you're starting out here. And so I think you could do a better job just owning that niche in the headline and the top sections with the unique value proposition of the page. Super simple setup, complements your existing communication tools, customized for your team, statuses are archived and organized. I might consider moving these testimonials up higher on the page. Most of this stuff that's like feature focused, other than the first one, this connect distributed teams, really isn't unique to you. It's something that everybody wants to say about their product. Super simple, customizable, archived. But these things right here, these statements are really strong. Like we replaced our daily stand-up. Great tool. Why are they at the end of the page? I might consider them up top. The other thing is that while you've got this giant call to action, if I go to leave the page, there's no exit intent. Trying to get people to sign up. There's nothing. If I'm not ready to sign up for tracking, then if I'm not ready to sign up, like, do you have anything for me? Is there like an email course on better collaboration? Is there a PDF on using on just working with distributed teams? Something that's like a secondary call to action, either as a pop-up on the left, the lower left or lower right, or something before I leave as a last chance like offer to say like, hey, before you go, get this free ebook. Hey, by the way, we power those at Kickoff Labs, don't we, Izzy? Oh, Izzy's on mute.
We do.
He should have come up faster than that. The other thing I say, this email address, do you need the name of the team today? The more fields you have, it might be worth testing if you don't need the name for people to start. I would think about killing the name, where you just get started with the email address. And if they're using a company email address, you could even pull the name out of the email address. So like if I signed up with Josh at KickoffLabs.com, just parse the email address and assign my team name KickoffLabs.com, right? If I'm going to do that for my team, you can simplify this down to just that on this page. That'd be my feedback. Izzy, did you have anything you wanted to add to this?
No, actually, I don't have any additional feedback. I mean, it was a great review, and it's a great looking page.
Yeah,
I actually closed it. Sorry about that.
All right. I appreciate everybody coming to the webinar, people submitting their pages, people putting up with our feedback. I thought we saw some great pages today. It was great to be able to get a little bit more in depth on some of the pages than we usually get. I'll just do my standard call out. If you haven't tried Kickoff Labs, we can help you with those lead magnets to get alternative conversions. So if somebody's not signing up for your product, you should at least be grabbing them for your email list so that you can continue marketing to them. That's something that we've recently added to the product, and it's something that we can help you with. Something else I wanted to call out for people today. So Izzy just published, and we're gonna have some more information on this. We launched a new theme to build a wait list for a product. And so for people wanting to do the wait list a la Robinhood, there's a great blog post that Izzy published that you should check out of how to use our product to do that, from how you build the landing page like Robinhood did, down to the newest feature we have, which is, if I scroll down, the waitlist theme. So we've got a theme right here where it says, great, you're on the list. It shows your position on the list, how many friends you referred, how many friends early access requires. You can kind of see that. See, there's a link to it, my waitlist. You can see that from the blog post, just a simplified version of a waitlist. Super simple, super easy to set up, but it's now something that we support, showing people's numbers on the waitlist. So if you're thinking about different types of campaign, if you're going to launch something new, it's worth checking out. It's an awesome feature. I can't wait to see people using it. And collecting and growing huge wait lists with the feature. So, in any case, this was a lot of fun. Happy to talk to you all, and we'll be back next week with another marketing chat. So stay tuned. Thanks, everyone.